Wade Wilson and Team Wade have officially earned over $80,000 in donations from people all across the world. Multiple women have surfaced with tattoos of Wade, phone cases of Wade, and the support since he's been on death row has been overwhelming. They also started a Facebook group preventing the bullying of Wade Wilson and Wade Wilson supporters. Oh, you cannot make this up. Steve Wayne Wilson's biological dad recently let everyone know that he actually seen Wade one last time before he was sentenced, and this is what their conversation was.
I did see Wade the night before his sentencing. I had reached out to the county jail, and they were, to be honest with you, the supervisors and stuff that I spoke to, they were very sympathetic. They understood where I was coming from. I said to them, listen, I don't know after tomorrow that I'll ever be given the chance to speak to him or see him. And looking back on that, probably wasn't the best time, but it is what it is. They allowed me to do a video visit with him, and just being 100% honest, he blessed me. When I tell you, told me to die slow, told me, you're not my dad, I don't give a fuck about you, you're a piece of shit, all that. And he did add, you were a state witness against me. You're a piece of shit for being a state witness. And I said, first of all, you were a state witness. I mean, you testified against a guy that wanted you to supposedly kill his or unalive his child's mother, and you were a state witness. So what's your point? And, he didn't know what to say to that. All I said to him was, I said, I love you. I said, I will hear you out. I will listen to anything you have to say to me. But in return, I expect you to hear what I have to say to you. And he was mad. He was angry. He wasn't trying to talk. And I said, listen, if you don't want to talk, hang up, And he did. He hung up. So, I went into the sentencing the next day. I'm not going to lie. It hurt. It hurt my feelings 100%. I don't regret what I did 100%. I would do it again. But it still hurt my feelings, and that's okay. I'm a big kid. I'm a big guy. I can deal with that. But I'm thankful to the supervisors in the jail down there for at least giving me the opportunity to try. And I did try. And I don't think I will try again. That may change. Who knows? But
maybe he'll reach out to you after all the kiosk people. When things die down, he's gonna go back to who he knows will always be there for him, at least to listen to him.
Yeah. Well, and that may be true. And if that time comes, I'm never gonna turn my back on him. As far as he's my son. I love him to death. I don't like him. I don't like who he's become. I don't like, my wife asked me last night after those calls and stuff, and she was like, how does that make you feel when you hear him, talk like that and say some of the shit he says? And I said to her, it breaks my heart. It makes me mad. It pisses me off, because I just wish I heard something different out of him. And that's what bothers me the most, is that I haven't heard any of that on any phone call I've listened to, nothing. I just wish that I could hear, him say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. And my biggest goal for my son right now, I can't save his life. I didn't sentence him. I didn't decide his fate. I can't save his life, but a part of me feels like, as his dad, I want to try to save his soul.
On December 23, 2014, Wade Wilson was at a party with friends, and while sitting at a bonfire, One of Wayne's friends, by the name of Caitlin, approaches him with another girl that is the victim in this case. The victim and Wade start talking. Wade starts throwing remarks at her and insinuating a threesome between her and Caitlin. The victim said she was already feeling uncomfortable. Wade asks the victim if she wanted to smoke more weed, and the two exit out the side gate on one side of the house. Wade asks the victim to enter his friend's car. The two start smoking weed out of a steamroller, and Wade then asks her to get in the back seat. She says why, and Wade starts getting mad. Wade says he has a gun and then makes the victim get in the back seat. This is where Wade Wilson does the unimaginable for 3 hours to her. Wade is then charged with sexual battery and kidnapping. The case then proceeds as Wade Wilson pleads not guilty. As the case goes on and the amount of evidence is shown, photos and videos of the act and aftermath, photos of the victim, the jury decide Wade Wilson is not guilty. The jurors were more infatuated on if there was a gun or not than the facts of the case, but this is just another time where the justice system might have failed us, and it could have prevented a lot of stuff in the future from happening.
Everybody, this is my homeboy Mike, man. You know, he's down in the Florida Department of Corrections, been locked up almost 33 years. Him and I go way back. I brought him on the YouTube streets, you know what I'm saying, to give some insight on the Florida prison system and the gangs that are going on down there.
Yep.
And all the bullshit that's going on. But you can take it over, Ronnie, man. Go ahead and talk to my guy, man.
Yeah, so basically I just want to know, let the people know who you are, where you're from. And we're definitely going to get into the Wade Wilson thing and the Unforgiveness because I want to know how that will work out for him out there. So let's get right into it, man.
Yeah, I'm from Tampa, man, and I was born and raised there. I lived in New York for a while, and when I was out there, I used to run around with the gangs. Never got initiated or nothing like that. Raised up in the streets, slept in Goodwill boxes and stuff like that, and I just did some crimes with some guys, and they kind of told on me. Then I came to prison, got a life sentence. I had 6. I got down to 2 life sentences, and I've been locked up for going on 33 years now.
Damn.
And just doing time in Florida. And Florida's not a good place to do time like it is up north.
Right. I heard it's dirty down in the South, man. I heard, it's different.
Yeah, we don't get if we don't do it ourselves, we don't get nothing.
I hear that. So, I'm sure you heard of this whole Wade Wilson thing going on. I don't want to make it too much about him, but everybody wants to know, especially the fact that he's in there for killing women, so I know that's frowned upon to say the least. So how would he fare there? And what do you know about the Unforgiven, if anything?
Okay, in Florida, listen, it's a hard place to do, but where I'm at, they do a lot of stabbings and stuff, and it done calm down a little bit. But man, if a child molester can walk the compound, man, a dude that murdered a woman can walk the compound here.
Wow.
In a lot of places in Florida.
Yeah.
It's not like it is when I did time in New York, where man, you did a certain crime, you just could not walk the compound.
Right.
Now, it used to be bad when I was at Columbia, child molesters and stuff like that. They couldn't even go to the canteen. They had to swipe their card and keep walking, and the dude behind them go order what he wanted. Okay. Yeah, I went through Elmira, Camp Beacon, Fishkill the first time, then Elmira, Oneida, and Cayuga Correction the second time. But Florida system, man, the only ones that will have a problem, I don't care what gang you're in or whatever, is if you snitched on one of your gang members or use the police. Things like that is real frowned upon in the Florida system.
Right.
Dudes that murder women and all that, it's not a problem, man. So dudes that's in the box or whatever, they come out on the compound. It ain't no big deal. As for the unforgiven, a friend of mine,
a bunch of junkies.
huh?
They're a bunch of junkies, most of them.
Yeah, a friend of mine that was at. Matter of fact, my dog Woody would know him. You remember Dave Hampton?
Yeah, I remember Dave Hampton. Yeah.
He was unforgiven. He went home from there. But
he was solid. He was solid. That was like he got a lot of influence in Unforgiven, but
right.
The majority, I would say, me honestly, like the majority of those people are, you know, they're trying to get the protection under the guise of something that is not. Plain and simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
The biggest white gang down here is probably the Unforgiven. There's some Aryan nations and like that, but the biggest, the most powerful ones are the Bloods and the Zoes.
The Zoes, yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you a question. What is death row going to be like for him where he's at? Like, I heard there's a lot of things that changed since January. Supposedly they're supposed to be getting tablets, contact visits, and stuff like that. A little bit more time on the tier. So, can you give us a little bit about what's happening in that jail as far as general population, PC, and then death row, and the comparisons of how it runs?
Okay. Protective management is mainly for judges, cops. We actually have a cop that's on this compound that was a cop. He works in carpentry and stuff. He doesn't have no problems. He wasn't a snitch. He just murdered somebody, and I guess that's why he's allowed to walk the pound. But majority of them are judges, big-time child molesters, which they got a facility, but they got to serve their time. Then they go to
Jimmy Rice.
Get the name of it. Jerry Rice. And there's
the Jimmy Rice. There's a Jimmy Rice program. They got one. It's
that's supposed to be the rehabilitation program, like a sexual offender program. That's the SOP program,
once you
right?
release them, they got programs like that.
It's an SO program.
Yeah, they got programs like that. But here they got a class these guys go to with mental health. Mm-hmm. But where I'm at, they got a lot of programs for people like that. They got a class they go to.
You know, these jails cater to those kind of individuals, man. They're getting special funding for that kind of shit now.
That's sick. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's sick. It's messed up because they're wasting money, bro.
Yeah,
you know, man, they're wasting money on that.
Yeah,
right. But they got in Florida.
Waste the money
Florida,
on the bullets.
My fault, Woody.
In Florida, they got a program.
If you come through the system and you show weakness, okay, you're gonna be preyed upon.
Absolutely.
You can't show weakness. Now you ain't gotta go join no gang. You ain't gotta do that. If you mind your business, don't get into drugs, don't do anything negative like that, and just do your time, get into education, get in some kind of programs, bro, you don't have no problems.
That's a fact.
You have no problems.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Facts.
It is.
Big facts.
It is. I'm in seminary. I got one more year to go. I get my AA, then I got 2 more years after that, and I get my BA. But nice. I got guys that's in my class that have programs they're doing themselves here, like Malachi Dads, Workmen, things like that. And they're bringing these young guys in, mentoring them. We even go to CM here. We got a CM, close management. And these guys go back there and they minister to these guys that's on CM that's been back there for years and years and years.
Yeah,
that's nice.
The CM there, that's like the close management where like the worst, right? You get caught stabbing somebody up, you hit the police or something, you're gonna be locked back there for a minimum of 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Now, this dude, Wade Wilson, we was talking about, he got the Swazis tattooed all on the face, you know what I mean? So the reason why I asked is because if they ain't going to get at him and violate him, maybe they might try to recruit him, you know what I mean?
Well, he already said that he was...
How would he fare if he went to the compound? How do you think he'll fare if he goes to the compound?
I'm going to use my compound. if he came to my compound, okay, and if he chooses to go that way, he can. If he chooses not, a lot of times these dudes, they tell them to cover up.
Cover the tattoo up?
Right.
Cover that up.
And then he'd be all right after that. He'd be able to walk the compound with that cover up. They wouldn't do nothing to him after.
No, man, listen, the only way somebody's going to get done something to is, let's just say he did something at another camp, he snitched on one of his homeboys, or he just did something that was a violation. Okay, then he has a problem. Because that follows you. It don't matter where you go in Florida. It's easy to reach out and tell somebody.
Yeah, telling that, and that's no good nowhere, right?
You 100%, and you a solid person, and you come to the pound, you say, listen, I'm stepping back. Okay, they don't have a problem with that. I don't care what you in. They don't have a problem with that. If you saying, man, I'm stepping back, this is what I'm about these programs right now.
Right.
I'm trying to get up out of prison. They respect that. Where I'm at in a couple other places I've been to.
Right.
Yeah, but I've been to some camps where dudes say the same thing, and next thing you know, they getting life flighted up off of there.
Right. And my guy here.
Because these are dudes that's done something.
Right.
And they done did something to somebody at another camp or on the street, and
it caught up with
I'll show
him.
you an example. And they got word from the street. And this is a dude they hung out with. He was solid, but they got a word from the street that said X amount, and they had to. That was what their order was. They had to X him out because he did something to somebody on the street. So things like that happens. But if you're 100%, man, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You're gonna do your time. You're gonna do your time how you want to do it, not how nobody else wants you to do it.
Oh yeah, that's an old fact. Yeah, I know how that.
Big facts.
Now let me ask you a question on death row. What is his program going to be like? What is his day-to-day going to look like? And how much freedom does he have?
Okay, how much feeding does he have?
No,
freedom. Like
freedom. Like
what's his program and routine going to be looking like?
The death row here, the majority in their room all the time.
23 and 1. It's 23 and 1.
Right. And they don't.
I used to work on the death row room.
Huh?
Yeah, they got a TV in their cell. They got everything. They got the TV
in their cell. They got everything in their room. They got everything they want. Canteen to the window comes right to them. They get the haircuts. They get all that right there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But they don't have access to the tablets yet. But I did read in the legal news that they're supposed to be giving the Florida death row inmates the tablets to be able to communicate email-wise.
Contact visits as well, I heard.
Right.
I did hear that. I heard that myself.
Man, it's they're so far back in time down here, man.
Fact.
It's bad.
I was just telling my homeboy.
I was telling Woody, I want to come out there.
Yeah, it's like 20 years in the past. When I visited down south, I felt like I was 20 years in the past.
My homeboy Mike been locked up almost 33 years, man. If you want to shoot some support, an email, something like that, hit me up at newlifewithwoody@gmail.com.
When it comes to dealing with time, it's a very hard thing. And from what I just gathered and what Woody just said, he's unfortunately never coming home. I was trying to see whether or not he had some sort of appeal process and, maybe help him with an appeal process. That's a hard thing. That's a hard pill to swallow, man. That's a hard thing to digest, man.
Facts, big facts.
Say he's got great spirit though. He's got a very upbeat about him, and I think that's out of all the things we took away from what it is that we just heard. I think that's the most important.
100%. He got a great attitude, nothing but positivity. That's actually like the third or fourth time I talked to him. I talked to him a few times today. He definitely wanted to get his story out here, so I figured what better way to do it on the YouTube streets. Plus, he's in Florida, and we were talking behind the scenes a little bit about the whole Wade Wilson and the Unforgiven, and he was really getting into it deep. You know what I mean? And we kept it PG for the show, but he gave us a little bit of an inside perspective of the whole situation.
What you talking about? What you talking about? Yeah.